And good afternoon. I want to make sure that I've got everything here. There we go. Okay, so we got audio. That's excellent. Let me hit record here so I can record this locally. Okay, so I think we've got some stuff going on here. Today's been a little bit of a chaotic day, to say the least. So we'll get right into it today because I've got to be done by 4 o'clock, so I've only got 2 hours at most on this stream today. Um, so we're going to get through. We're going to do some real quick fixes and cleanup. Shouldn't be a whole lot of stuff there. Just a couple things to fix those bugs that I found from tweaking on my other test machine. Technology has been against me. My laptop, that is now 9 years old, 10 years old, has decided that its battery is no longer viable. And it has just started randomly turning off on me. So once again, more technology I'm gonna have to replace. So, okay, so today we're gonna fix. Let me see, what do I have over here for my notes? We're gonna fix the bug where we have the monsters not. What were they doing? They're double move, and I think it was locking up. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix the. There's something. Oh, I want to change the BFS that we did so that we're no longer. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a I'll show you. There's a bug that we have where we still get the lineup, the parade for the top square, and we're gonna try to fix that. And then I think that was it. Those are the two major bugs. I think. Oh, there's one other one because of the attack about how we pass the end term node back and forth. That one's really easy. We just have to add in a null value into our function header. And then we're gonna get right into our helps if I put the microphone in front of me so you actually get decent volume. You know, egg on my face today. So we'll get that going, and then we'll get the targeting machine in place and hopefully the buff system. I've been toying around on my test bench with the targeting machine. I've gone back and forth with a couple different variations. We'll get this one in place today. Hopefully that will work and not cause us too many problems. But once we have the targeting system in place, that should hopefully resolve the tech debt that we had. So then we can move on. We'll get the buff system in place if we have the time, which, cross our fingers, hopefully we will. And then we'll be ready on Thursday to start building out the rest of our player abilities and building out our monsters. And hopefully then we'll be able to mark off milestone 4. So let's take a look at that. Give me one sec here. I got to queue up the right. There we go. So we got here, our milestone number 4 right here, our heroes, monsters, and abilities. So hopefully once we finish all this up, we'll be able to have this all taken care of here. And okay, sorry, kids and stuff like that. So I have to just pay attention and make sure our 4-year-old does not cause any chaos for a moment. Yeah, so I think with that, we have a good plan for today. We're going to get those quick fixes done. We're going to get the targeting system in place and hopefully the buff system. And then we will check off the buff system, and then we'll finish out the hero abilities and close this all out. I hope, crossing fingers, we will close this all out on Thursday. Because when we build out the monsters, we already have melee attacks. We already have move. All we need to add is a range attack. We may have to add a secondary move that says, so it only moves within range of the player, for like our ranged attackers, so they don't go, hey, I'm 7 squares away, I'm going to move up 6, and now I'm point blank to the player and shoot my crossbow. Man, we don't want that. We want to move them so they're only within range. So we might have to create a slight variation on the move, but that won't take a whole lot. But then we can close out this, and we can move into our milestone 5, which is where we actually make the game, make the whole game loop. We're at 43 and a half hours, if I recall correctly. Let me jump over here and we'll take a look. We are at starting at, May 1st, 2026. Wow, 2026, May 1st. There we go. We are at 43.6 hours. Okay. So yeah, we're almost at 44, which we're 4 hours over already on this milestone. I did say earlier on, I suspect that this milestone was going to take extra time, and that's why we had a couple hours padding. I was expecting it to overrun a little bit. So we still have a couple more things that I want to get in before we get into our feature lock, which is at hour 60. I want to get some form of trap in. I want to get we want to get all the monsters and the players and the town. We want to get all that stuff in. We only have about 16 hours before we hit that feature lock. Because if you remember when we did the planning, when we hit feature lock, we were just saying it's done. We're no more features. We're just refining what we have. That may very well change once we get into, if we do early access and then we want to build it some more or something like that. But again, for the scope of what we have right now, 100 hours to Steam, that's where we're going to be. I'm crossing my fingers we don't go blow past that milestone. So yeah, I think that's where we are. Kanban, let's focus on to... Yeah, I've had a lot of my Simon's Tribute feedback, so I've added a lot of work I need to do on that. But let's focus down to fodder tiles. So we're going to fix the monster double move bug today. And then we're going to add in our targeting system, and hopefully we're going to add in the buff system, and then we'll just be able to blast right through all of these and get these all done. So hopefully that's where we're going to be. So let me get a quick swig of this and we'll hit the timer. Okay. So let's go back over here. We'll start our timer, then fire tiles. We're going to do, I'm just going to put targeting for right now. Save. Okay. So let's jump down here. We'll open tiles. Okay. So the first thing I identified was here in the game board. What we're doing is we're basically double calling the turn completed. So let's see here. If I think it's this one right here. Is in players, current turn completed. Yeah, I think if we just I think if we indent this and we only apply that to the player, I think that's all we want to do on that one. So let's just save that. Let's see, what else do we have here? We also had, I think, an update here in the end turn, request end turn. You don't remember? Oh, I needed to add in the current actor, and then what we just need to do, we're going to make it equal null in case nothing. No, wait, this is the wrong. It's not end turn. It is, yeah, it's end turn. I need to put it here. Actor, actor equals null. There we go. Because there was a couple bugs that we had here when we ran this. We were running into passing in a valid thing, some of our functions were passing in a parameter, some of them weren't, because remember, attack doesn't pass in anything, abilities do. So we'll just add in this to then assume it. And then the other one is on turn ending. We want to do we want to add in one more thing here. Think if actor, let's do an else if actor, it's an underscore. How do they do it up above here? It's just plain actor. If actor dot is in group monsters, okay, MON monsters, okay, and then what we need to do here is we want to say, remember when we did our signal up, call down, we got to make sure that we disconnect the signal if it's connected. So let's say if actor dot attack requested dot is connected, okay, and then when that was going to our target, target selected, see, there we go, selected. Okay, so then if that's connected, then what we need to do is we need to disconnect it. Disconnect. There we go. Okay, so then that will disconnect our monsters attack requested, so that we don't try to double signal it. Okay, so that should fix that. So we did the game board. That's what this is. Let's go into our turn manager. There was a quick fix I needed to do in here under the action completed. Action completed. Where are we? Action completed. Here we go. So if actor points are less than or equal to, request end turn actor. What we need to do on this one, we want to make sure we only do this for players. So let me just see here. Do we want to just do if actors and players, or do we want to do if we want? Yeah, let's do that. Let's see. If actor is action points less than 0, and then how about yeah, because we only want to pass this request end turn if they're in player. So you know, why don't we just do this? And actor dot is in group players. Okay. Whoops. I'll put quotes around that, not. Okay. So if we do it that way, we make sure that it's a player and its action points are down, and then we can do the request end turn. Because remember, the request end turn, we go into the turn ending phase, which the monsters don't have, the players have because of the tiles. Okay. And then there's one other thing we need to do is in the monsters, we need to change this slightly. So on their turn completed, here we go. Turn completed. We have a turn completed emit. But what we need to do is we need to send self, because remember we change that other function now to expect the actor. Okay, so we do that. And then there's one other thing I want to change, and I think it's in their monster move. Where do we have the monster move? Yeah, here it is. Monster move. Okay. And then in here, down here, we did for all cells, we were marking this all as solid for A-star pathfinding. This was marking both the monsters and the players as solid squares. We don't want those as solid squares. We want the monster squares, if it's the monster, to be able to walk through them. So we're just going to change this for player, and then here we're going to call in the underscore players, because if I remember right, we passed in, yeah, we had passed in players. Okay. So for players, set cell, we do player.current cell equals true. Okay. So basically we're going to just take this, we're going to put that in right there, and then we're just going to change this to false. Okay. Yeah, we don't need those anymore. That's our best move cell. I think. Oh, there's one other thing I want to do. But before I do that, I want to show you what's going to happen. Let me see if I can get this happening on the game board. Let's see. Let's end turn. Let's get this. We need the spaces above. So if I move him to here, and if we can move the wizard, hopefully before. Yeah, there we go. Good. What we'll do is we'll move this to here. And what's going to happen is when these guys move, and these three here determine that the priest is the closest enemy. Remember, we checked in a clockwise fashion, so they're going to check this cell, this cell, this cell. So what they'll do is they'll, I don't know if I can make this happen. I might have to move the priest again. What would happen is they would move here, they would move here, they move here. This is occupied, so they can't go there. And then they go back to this cell and check the top neighbor. And they're like, oh, that's free. And so then it would end up creating like a train here. They would never check this cell. So let's see if I can do this here. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Oops. What did we do? We just messed something up here. Okay. I mean, they're going to the right place, but we didn't mark them. The problem is we didn't get our characters to await the right way. Do we need to do... Hold on, let's go back here. Turn manager events. Oh, because we don't need this if they're a monster. I believe this needs to go here. Let's try that one more time. Nope. Okay. So we do need that there. Okay. On turn ending. Okay, so in the monster decision, what did I do? I put my notes over here somewhere. If current actor is in group monsters, did I put that in the wrong space? No, that should be fine. Yeah. Right. Oh, wait. Do I want this here or do I want this on... Wait, do we have a end turn? We have an end turn. Yeah, let's put this, let's cut this out here. Let's put this on the end turn instead of turn ending, because remember, we skipped over the turn ending stuff. So let's go back up to end turn. Request end turn. Let's put this in right before it. And we're just going to say if the actor is in the group monsters, then we can disconnect that signal. Okay, let's try that. Boom. Okay, boom. Okay, yeah, now we're not double taking turns here. Okay. Okay. I think we actually just did. Shoot. What did I just do? Okay. You know what? I think I made too many changes at once. Let's undo all of our changes that I made. Okay. We didn't make any changes there. We didn't make any changes there. Okay. So let's go back. Let's see. What was our original problem here? We got this. We got, move him to here. He moved, but he never got to his next square. Because... Okay, so error here. This should be self. Okay, let's fix that. That's probably going to cause another error if I'm remembering properly. Okay, let's look here. Yeah, expected 0. Okay, so here, this, we want actor equals null. Okay, so that should stop that error. 1. After this turn, make sure we don't get an error. Oh, we still did. Expected 0, passed with 1. Turn completed, omit. Turn completed, node, omit self, on turn completed. Oh, yeah, no, we got that here. Where were we? End turn. game board end turn. Okay, here we go. This underscore actor colon actor equals null. Okay, that should resolve that issue. That's not great. I think we have to go back and undo the other. Where did I do this other null statement by accident? I put the other null in the wrong spot. Was it in this one? Was it in actor? It was in monster. Okay. So monster, this does need to be self. And then game board, this is where we need that underscore actor colon actor equals null. Okay. There we go. So if there's nothing, no big deal. Okay. Okay, so let's move over here. And that turn. Let's move, I don't know, up here. Yeah, if I move here, that should cause the double up bug that I was talking about. So there's one there. They'll fill in these squares. Oh, he's going to move up there. Oh, they didn't wait their turn again. I thought I knew what I was doing. Yeah, just have one of those days. Okay, let's put that back. Let's go back to monster. Because if we don't send anything, then there's, yeah, see, now we got that problem. He just attacked himself. So we so we definitely want that. And the monster, we definitely want to send self. Okay, and so this, we connect on turn completed, decision engine. Okay, so this, we emit the turn completed. Turn completed is only on monster. Okay, so if we come up here, do we have a turn? Oh, no, it's probably when we add in the actor. Add actor. Actor spawn. Do we have in... Do we not have a... what was that signal again? Shoot. Turn completed. That's what it was called. Game board. Okay. If it's in monsters, we connect it and we send directly to end turn. Okay. So then if we come down to end turn expects nothing. Okay, so then in monster, we shouldn't be sending anything. Okay. Why were... Oh, because we did this up here. There we go. Okay. So turn completed. So turn completed. So when this gets emitted, it goes up to the game board. The game board does end turn, request end turn to the current actor. So we go to the turn manager. We go to request end turn, request end turn. If the current node and they equal each other, emit the turn ending. And then let's see, we have turn ending. Okay, it looks like we don't have turn ending anywhere in here. No, we just have the emit. Okay, so let's look at the game board. Let's find our turn ending. That goes to on turn ending. Okay, so let's look at that. On turn ending, if it's in player, then we show the possibles. Then we await the selected. If not, we just advance to the next turn. Okay. So that all should be fine. We just may be sending it a little too soon. But let's just check here. Oh, let's just end turn. Okay. Whoops. Yes, I know. I got this bug that our targeting thing's going to fix. And that That just broke things because of that bug. Okay. We moved, we attacked. Okay, so they're not waiting again. Monster move. We await movement finished. Monster start move. Monster actor start move. Where's start move? Start move. We go through the physics process. On movement finished. We never emit. What was that signal we were just looking for? We're waiting for monster movement finished. Monster. Oh, here we go. On movement finished. Movement finished emit. Oh, you know what? We should probably call this before. Well, this plays the idle animation. That's all it does. And then we emit movement finish. But this doesn't seem like it's... The movement seems to be triggering too soon. Set the process to false. Moving the false. Why is that happening? Oh, what did I do? That's attack. That's working fine. We don't really care about that one. This is ability targets. That's fine. As this target selected. This is still ability targeting. Oh, this. We don't want to omit that. I think this is what we want to take out. Because if we omit the turn... we don't want to do this because we don't need to listen to the signal for the monster. Let's try that. Let's see if that totally breaks us or not. Move. Attack. Okay. I think that was what the problem was. That's why we were getting the double movement there. Okay. Yeah, because now they're clearly waiting their turn. Okay. And then we just broke because of out of bound on this one because we jumped ahead a little too fast. So this is right here. So we're not calling this properly. On turn completed, error call and signal from turn completed to combat manager. To combat manager on actor turn completed. Oh, we don't need this anymore. Why is this calling here? Combat manager should not be involved anymore. Where were we calling that from? Monster. Okay. Monster. Monster. Turn completed. Emit turn completed. Okay, but there's no combat manager in here. So why are we... let's see here. Why is that happening like that? Hmm. We're no longer connected to the end turn. So that shouldn't be a problem. Is this what we are? Combat manager on actor completed. Turn completed. No. It's not that one. Turn ending. Again, if it's in the player, we're doing the action panel. We hide that. We show possible tiles that we can go to. If either of them are visible, we wait for a tile to be selected. And then we advance our turn. So I think that's... I mean, we could disconnect. Let's do a... Was it because of the attacks? Yeah, let's disconnect the attacks here. So let's do if actor ECTOR is in group monsters, and then let's see if actor dot what we call that again? That was called attack requested. Attack requested dot is connected. Is connected, and that was to target selected. Okay. And then what we're going to do here, we're just going to disconnect it. There we go. Okay. Did that. Okay, finish the turn, finish the combat, then moved. He's stuck because he never took his second action. He went through the current loop. Iteration ended. He didn't spend the AP. Then the turn is over because we never checked to see if he spent that. Okay, so this is in the monster. So if we emit ourselves here, that should hopefully fix that problem. You know, trying to clean up spaghetti code and still creating even more spaghetti code is lots of fun. Yeah, okay, so that one time it worked. He never actually... whatever. End turn, there we go. Yeah, end turn. Okay, so then the next guy who's going to target the priest should move to... He's going to move there because, yeah, that's the first valid square. Yep, okay. And then, of course, this is all broken. Okay. Yeah, so let's go back. Okay, so that all moves there. I just want to go back into the monster move. I want to go back and add in the change in the cells here. We want to do for player and players. Okay. And then we're going to set this for a player. Oops, player.current cell. There we go. So this will allow, again, the monsters to walk through each other and not players. Okay. Okay. So then this should allow monsters to walk through each other. Like, come on. If I move all of my guys out of range. Move him to here. There we go. Okay. And then this is going to do one more bug because now he's going to try to move here is where that guy's going to go. He's going to move there. And then he's going to, okay, he's going to reevaluate because the wizard was closer. Okay. So that's there. Do I want to do, this is broken, I think. Yeah, that's broken. Okay. Do I want to do the diagonal attacks? Yeah, let's add them in. Let's add them in. So down here, we have, where do we put? Right here, this. So we have these. All we need to do is we just need to add in our diagonal checks as well. So I'm just going to do this down here. Excuse me. Put this here so we can set these up. And then all we need to do is we need to list them out. So like 1, 1. Okay, and then we're just going to copy this because it'll be a lot easier. Actually, you know what? We can do doom, doom, doom. Paste that in there. Okay, and then we can do that. Okay, and then so just go around. So we got 1, 1. We got so 1, 1 would be down and right. So that would be our first one. Let's keep our X and Y. Let's keep them in the same order. So we want to check up and right first. Then we're going to do check down and right. Then we're going to check down and left. And then we check up and left. Negative, negative. There we go. So now when they look at movement squares, they're going to say a diagonal one is valid. So now if we do this properly, if I move like the barbarian out of the way, if we just kind of like leave the wizard in place, they should all kind of. So let's just move him out of the. No, let's not. Let's keep him right where he is. Actually, oops, didn't mean to do that. Because now I opened up that space. So unless I can move my rogue before this guy goes. Oh, actually, no, this guy shouldn't move at all. But we'll move the rogue down here just to be... Oops. No. Yeah, we got to get that cancel in. So, yep. But anyway, we got that. So it'll be a diagonal. So they'll select the diagonal spaces properly now. That's what adding in those extra negative values will do. Okay, so with that, let's go in. We still have the targeting problem. Let's build our targeting machine. We're already way too long into this episode to not do that. So let's add a new child node. Make it a node. I'm going to bring this right up here to the top. Let's put it under, there we go. And call it targeting. Let's call it targeting machine. That works. We'll go into our core components. We'll create the targeting machine. Class name, targeting machine. Okay, and that's going to extend the node. Perfect. Okay, so let's see here. Let's start off with our enum, and then we're going to call our state, and then let's define the dictionary for these. We're going to have idle state. We're going to have move targeting. And what else we need? We need attack targeting and ability targeting. Do we want to do... do I want to make AoE its own? That's good. We're just going to roll it into ability. I was thinking about maybe making AoE its own thing, but we'll just leave that like it is for right now. Okay, so var, we want to do our current, var, current state, and t state. And then that's going to be, state, state, okay. And then that by default, let's do state.idle. Okay. We need to know the game board, because game board is where all of our stuff takes place. And did we give our game board a class? I don't think we did. I think we just called it. We just called it a node 2D. Yeah, we just called it a node 2D. Okay, so let's just do a node 2D. Okay, and then we'll just set it to null for right now. Actually, we don't need to do it as null, because we could do it as, because this is going to exist in the tree. We can just bring it in here. I mean, it breaks our, we can just do this as an onReady instead. It's going to break our, what's it called? The call down signal up function. But I mean, this is going to be underneath the game board at all times. So I think we're fine there. What else do we need? We need to know the ability that we're using. So let's do, what current, yeah, let's call it current ability, because it's going to be while we're in the targeting phase. So we'll just make that an ability. We'll set that one to null, because if it's an attack or move, we're not going to have one. Let's set up our AoE overlay, and then that's just going to be a node 2D, because I don't think I set that as a, oh, I did. I gave it a AoE target, so we can use a class on that. Okay, AoE target, and by default that will be null also. Okay, so let's do a function. Let's call our setup. Okay, and then we need the game. Do we need? No, we don't need it, because we made our game board onReady. Okay, so we need a way to change states. So let's do a transition, TRANSI, transition to. And then we're going to need the new state, which is going to be a state. And then we need any... I don't like the way I did this, so I might change it. I'm just going to put this in for right now, just so we can do this. Context is going to be a dictionary. Okay, and then by default, it's going to be no context in there. Okay, and then we're going to do exit state, which is going to be a function we're going to make, and then we're going to pass in the current state. CURR. Wow, current. Did I do that with an R up here? I did do it with an R up here. Oops. Current state. Ken Evan would be real quick to point that out on me. Exit state, current state. Okay, so then we can stop that, and then we can change the current state. We're going to set that to the new state. Okay, and then when we do that, we need to do an interstate state. And then we need to do the interstate with the current state. Okay, and then pass any context that we are going to send it. Yeah, okay. So that should be good there. Okay, so let's do our interstate. So when we can start this interstate. Okay, and then in our interstate, we have our current state. So we can just call it state. Okay, and then we need the context. So this may be blank, so let's call context. That's a dictionary. Okay, and then we're not going to return anything from this. So I think that should be good. And then let's use a match, so then we can figure out which it is. So let's do like state.idle, for example, state.idle. Again, this is a real simplified version of our state machine, because if you get into the more complex stuff that you'll see on YouTube, they'll write different ones, and it'll basically pull in all of the different states from different scripts and pull them in. It gets a little confusing for troubleshooting. This is going to be just a simple targeting thing, so having everything in one script is going to make it easier. But it's doing the same thing that you've seen in many other state machine tutorial videos. Okay, so if it's idle, and then we want to do current ability is going to equal null, because there is nothing we shouldn't need because in idle mode we have no ability selected. So if we do game board dot current actor, okay, and then what we can do with the current actor, we want, yeah, if game board current actor, make sure there is a current actor, and the game board BOA, wow, current actor is in group, and then we want to do player. Is it player or players? I think it's players. Let me just double check. Monsters, players. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so if it's in players, then we can actually run the scripts that we want to do, because we don't want the monsters to do this. So let's see. If do I want to do this here, or do I want to do this elsewhere? Because in idle state, we're not targeting, we're not moving, we're not doing anything like that. Let's move all of our visible. Do we want to have our UI visible here? I think this would make sense, because if I do it kind of how I'm thinking in the future, and I want the menu to pop up on the actors when it's their turn, I think this would make sense. So let's do this here. So let's see here. So we want to do, I feel like I need to do a, because this is going to be, if we got to constantly call game board current actor. Nah, whatever. We'll just keep going on with this. So if there is a current actor and the current actor is in the group players, then let's see if there's action points. If game board, we don't. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Game board current actor. Okay, this is gonna start driving me nuts. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go back over here to our game board. Let's give it a class, so then we can refer to the actions a lot better. Class name, game board. Go. Okay. So now when we do this, we should be able to get the game board stuff right off. Oh, match. Do I have to do a capital M on this? I forget. Match. Oh, I need to, whoops. I need to put in what we're matching. We need to match the state. And then this should be state.idle. Right? Yeah. Because we want the enum value. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. Okay, so if gameboard.current actor, okay, yep, let's see, now we got the prompts. Get action points is greater than 1. Oh, this is going to be a function. Greater than 1. Oh, no, greater than 1. Greater than 0. Okay. Oh, yeah, and we want to make sure gameboard dot current actor dot what value do we give that? We did moving. Here we go. Boom. And we want to make sure that they're not moving. So not moving. Okay. Because if they're moving, we want to keep this hidden. So then we can do gameboard dot action panel dot visible. Yeah, yes, I'm visible equals true. Okay. Else we can set this to false. Okay. Let's see here. What's this? What did I do wrong here? Game board equals game. Okay. Well, let's redo the onReady then. There. Oh, because I did a capital B there. Okay, that's fine. This is not written yet, so that's fine. That's why that's there. This is a misspelling of dictionary. Okay. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so this will be our panel. We can show it here. Okay, so that's just idle. They'll give us our action panel. So then if we come back here, do it when I do the match, do I need a no, it's all indentation. So we can just do state dot where we like move targeting. Okay. So then when we do move targeting, we're also going to set our current ability equals null because we're not using one. Okay. We want to turn off the action panel. We want to hide that. So let's put that here. What else do we want to do? We want to do panel. We want to call the actor. So let's just do this. And we're going to call what was the actor? I think it was activate. Did we give it player? Activate. And this is where we turn on our targeting. Okay. So activate, activate. Oh yeah. What happens if our monster gets hit with this? Oh, we shouldn't be calling targeting machine anyways. We're only going to call that in players. So actually, you know what? I don't think we need this now that I think about it. I'm going to leave that right there for right now. I don't think we're going to need this. But you know what? Let's yeah, I think I'm going to want to I don't know if I need the safety check, but we'll come back anyways. So we'll activate the player, which then starts our targeting, our input selection, which we're going to then pull. We're going to pull into here into a separate function. So we're going to start move targeting here. So that'd be actor.activate. Actually, we can keep that probably right in the player. We don't need to really move it over because that's going to be input. We're going to turn it on. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's do state dot, what's our next one? Attack targeting. Okay. And then in our attack targeting, we're going to do, again, the game board dot current, not current, action panel dot visible equals false. We're going to turn that off so then we can target. And then we're going to do for actor in, excuse me. Oh, we're going to make all of our nodes, monster nodes, right here. Nope, that's not it. We need to turn on their targeting. Oh, game board. I think it's in game board. Start targeting. Target selected. Where is our start ability targeting? No. Ability target? Nope. Where do we do this? Okay, so here's where we turn it off. Enabled target node. Okay, ability target. Here we go. Return target cell. Okay, so this is what we're looking for right here. We're going to go through the group monsters. We're going to find if they're there, and then we're going to connect it. Okay, so let's go back over here to this. We're just going to put that in here. We're going to say if targeted, enable target ability on the actor. And then, oh, well, we're not going to do, oh, wait, did I copy the wrong one? We want to do this for This is attack targeting. Where are we? Up here. When we click on attack button, actor attack. Here we go. Player monster. Here we go. This is what we wanted right there. Okay, so let's go back over to our targeting. That's what we want. Okay. And then that's going to be indented. Okay, so then for every actor in the monsters, we're going to say enable target mode. We're sending null. Why are we sending null? Where's our targeted? Enable target mode. Oh, ability. We're not sending an ability, so that would be null. That makes sense. Okay. And then if actor targeted, selected as target, is connected, target selected. Okay, so this we're going to change. We're going to change this into a new function. We're going to call this, we're going to put it back to the game board target selected. BOARD. There we go. Okay. So we're going to keep that the same. That's fine. Okay. So then if we're in attack targeting, we're going to go into this mode. We're going to go through all the monsters. We're going to turn on their targeting clickability. Okay. And then do I need anything else in the attack targeting? We got this. We got the double check signals. If they're connected, if it's not connected, connect it. Okay. So that should be fine. Let's go back to our state dot, and then we're going to do the ability targeting. And then over here, we're basically going to do the same thing that we did up here. We're going to do the same thing here again, except for this time, we're going to pass in the ability. And to do the ability, we need to set up the current ability equals get, and then we're going to get from the dictionary our current ability. So if we use get here and we use I had to look up how to do this. We use context.get. Okay. And then we put in ability. I don't know if I really want to do it that way. I don't know if I want to. Because if we're just going to send in an ability. Context is a little bit more flexible because then we can change this. But yeah, we'll just use that for now. Because there could be, I can already picture in ways that we could maybe make use of that in the future if we want to change the context a little bit. But for right now, we'll just grab the ability. We'll set that over down here, and then we'll pass in the current ability here. Okay, so that should be fine. I don't think. Oh, wait, this isn't going to work because we have to look at the ability and figure out what type of targeting it needs. Is it self? Is it single? Is it monster? Or not monster, AoE. Okay. So let's see here. Let's do... I think we'll still make use of this, but let's put some more stuff in here. Let's do if there is a current ability, just to make sure we don't send in a blank value here. So if current ability, then let's match the current ability dot what is it called? What do we call it? Range target type. There we go. Target type. And then so in here we're going to do ability dot target type dot self, right? So if it's self, and then let's do our game board, and we're going to do ability target, okay, and then ability target selected. There we go, and we're going to send in our the actor underscore actor, okay, ACTOR. Wow, type. Okay, and then we need to send in the ability, so we send in the current ability, right? Game board, ability target selected. Let's go back to our game board. Game board, ability target selected. Send in the actor and then the ability. Okay, actor and then the ability. So game board, ability target selected. We send in. We don't have a reference to the actor here. Okay, so let's change that. We send in the current actor because it's targeting self. Current actor, and then we'll send in current ability. Okay, so why is that not liking this? Current actor is not declared. Oh, because it's gameboard.current actor. That's why. Okay. So if we send in the game board current actor and their current ability, then that will trigger any of the self-focus stuff. Yeah. Okay. So let's do ability target type single target. Okay. So then that, I believe, will be this. Oh, right. We need, let's go back to it. Let's just steal our stuff out of game board. I'm getting myself a little over. Ability target. Here we go. Where is our, where we do start ability targeting? Here we go. Single target. Okay. So then we can do this. Just copy this right over here. Let's go back into here. So if this is a single target, we can put this all in. Okay. Okay. Okay, so if it's a single target, if the current actor is in group players, we should probably assume that they're in players because we don't need this targeting machine if they're monsters. So I don't think we need... I mean, this, we can keep this in for safety. But we need to change where it says current actor to be gameboard.current actor. Okay, so anywhere we have current actor, we need to put in gameboard current actor, and ability, anywhere it says ability, we're going to have to put in current ability. Okay, and then this one, this will become gameboard dot ability targeted. Okay. Hey, GD Crazy 02. How's it going today? Okay. So let's see. We got this in. We've got the, let's see here. So if it's a single target, if we are a player, and then if it targets allies, then we're going to say, okay, any player, we're going to enable their target mode. And then just double check if it's connected. Okay, so we've got that part. Okay, so now basically what we need to do, if it's not targeting allies, we can just flip this over. This will be monsters, and this will actually be an else. Okay, so that targeting monsters, right? Okay, so target allies. If it's true, then we can target the players. If it doesn't target allies, then we'll target monsters. Okay. So that works there. Pretty good. Glad to hear it. Okay, and then so that's single mode target. Do we need anything else in single mode target? Let me think here. Single mode target. Let's go look at our game board. How did we do the single mode target? This is single mode target. Okay, so this is all we have. Yeah, so that should be fine. Okay. And then we're gonna get down into our AoE. This is gonna be fun. Okay. So that should be good there. I'm just double checking my other notes I had here about prepping this to make sure I didn't miss something. Let's see here. G Crazy says, I'm learning Godot because I have a pretty good game idea in mind. I already know some stuff. Do you have any tips? It's narrative, and for dialogue system, I decided to use Dialogic to make the work easier. I've heard good things about Dialogic. I have not touched it myself. What's the version Dialogic 2 or whatever that's out? I have not touched it myself. If it's gonna be a narrative game, if you're looking for if it's going to be like graphic novel level narrative, you may want to look at something else like Twine instead of Godot. That might make things a lot easier because that engine is designed specifically for that type of game. But if you're going to make it more, 2D walking around and interacting with people, then I don't really have a good tip on that because I don't tend to do a lot of narrative heavy games. The only ones I've done is I've done Northbound Duty and Elf Hours are the only two I've done, and those are basically you're presented with three choices, and based on what you choose, it adds different scores. Well, technically, I guess Mayor Panic. Forget what we actually titled it. Triple M Mayor Panic. Basically, that game is the same way. I think I have a video on my YouTube channel about making Mayor Mayhem. I think it's titled, I made a game jam game in 3 hours and one. That one is all about a narrative game. So if you want, take a look at that and, shoot me some questions, especially if you're on the Michael Games Discord. I tend to live over there and answer questions. So, or response to this video or ask them in stream. Anyway, back to where I was here. I'm just double checking my notes. Let's see here. So, I've already lost myself. Move targeting. We already did move targeting. Ability targeting. Okay. Current ability to do ability target self. Here we go. Single target. Okay. I think this is everything in there. Ability target selected. So, target allies, current ability, target allies, group players. Oh, yeah. Okay. My notes. I was like, why are my notes much longer than what I wrote here? The reason being, I just changed this to be a variable. Which, you know what? Let's do it. Let's cut down some code. Make it a little bit easier here. So we can just delete this out here. And what we can do here is we can just outdent this. And then we can just do var group equals monsters. Okay. And then if the current ability targets allies, we can just do group equals players. Okay. And then we can just go right here through the group. Saves us having to duplicate that code. Okay. So that makes that easier. Okay, let's go to our AoE. Ability.target mode.area. Okay. And so let's see. Let's jump back over here. What did we do? This is Oh, this is a mess. I don't know if I really want to copy all this over, but we'll just keep this here on stream so we can come back to it. Excuse me. Single target. Where am I? Oh, down here. Target area. Here we go. So let's call in the AOE, which did we do in the game board? Did we make a reference to a constant AOE target? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I don't think we're going to need this over here anymore. So I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to leave that right there for right now. I'm just going to comment it out. And then we're going to go back over to targeting machine. We're going to do constants right here. Okay, so we have an AOE target. Okay. Okay, so then first we need to do is we need to establish the AOE targeting, TAR target. And then that's going to be, whoops, that's not what I want. I want to do AOE target equals target dot instantiate. There we go. Okay, so then we'll get our targeting grid of our AOE up. And then do I want to do it there or do I want to do it via the game board? Let's do it. Yeah, we'll do it this way. We'll just try to keep things good here. Okay. So then we'll do this. Then we'll have to set up the AOE target. You know what? Let's just steal this stuff. We're duplicating AOE. Where's our AOE targeting? Must be in our ability target. Start ability targeting. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So we're just going to copy all this. Don't know if I need that or not, but we'll come back. Okay, so let's go back over here. We'll paste this in. Put this over here. Okay. We need... So this needs to be prefaced right here. Paste dot. Okay, so there. Oh, no. You know what? If we're going to just use this, let's just call this targeting overlay. Targeting overlay. There we go. That'll make it a lot easier. Dungeon map equals, and then we're going to do game board dot. Did we have dungeon tile map defined? Yeah, we did. Okay, perfect. Targeting overlay res equals current ability. Current ability. Okay. We're going to add child, but we need to add this to the game board. Game board. Oops. Add child. There we go. Okay. We're going to await a targeted cell. We're going to take the target. We don't need this right now. We'll leave that in for double checking. Our targets equals an array. If the ability is... We can just do the group thing again here. Oh, you know what? We can just pull the group out. You know what? We'll just copy this again. We'll put that in here. Okay. And then down here, we can say, we don't need to do this. Targets out. Hold on. Let me rethink about how I just want to do this. If it targets allies and we're in players, what do we put here? Var group target allies. Oh, yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay, so because we're going to have AoE, we're going to keep this separated just to make it easier. So if it targets allies and we're in players, we're going to target players. Else, if it targets allies, or it doesn't target, oh yeah, if it does target allies, then we're a monster, we're going to target monsters. Else, if it doesn't target allies and we're players, we're going to target monsters. Then, or else we'll do player targeting. Okay. And then we're going to wait AoE target selected. This is actually on the game board. Not game board. This is going to be we're going to call this. Let me think about this. Let me think. Where'd I put my notes? Move. Area. Here we go. Okay. AoE target selected on AoE targeted cell. Okay, so we're going to create a new await AoE target selected. Oh, so we should probably do targeting overlay. AoE target selected, right? Because that's our targeting overlay. Targeting AoE target. Targeted, that's a targeted cell. Should we wait? We should probably wait for that. AoE targeted cell, right? If we're going to do our this, how do we do this in game board? We have AoE target selected. So in game board, because we're pulling this out of game board, making it its own logic, we have AoE. So when this gets called, this is when we select the cell. Okay, so we need the cell to be selected. Oh, right here. Here's our target. We're awaiting the targeted cell, and then we do all this. Okay. Okay. There we go. And then here we can just put in the game board. Game board.aoe target selected. Okay. So then we'll call that ability, and that should be good. Okay. So let me just double check my notes over here, make sure I didn't put anything new. Most of it is just I'm pulling stuff out of game board and separating out our logic. Okay, move. Here we go. Ability target area. Target cell, connect on AoE to okay, we're gonna pull. I want to pull that out into its own function. Okay, so let's see here. On AoE targeted cell. So this stuff's gonna come down to a different area. Oh. Well, let's just move it all into this logic for right now. Then I'm going to break it all out. Okay, so we do this. Go back, we call back there. Then we say if actors in group players, we turn off the action panel. We're just going to do that completely. So let's just get rid of this up here. Actually, you know what? We want to leave that because if it's in player group. Where'd we put off our... Where did we turn off our panel here? State idle, targeting, current ability, game board action, right after we did this. So, oh, we already turned it off. So we don't need to worry about that. Okay. And then, so we do the match. Okay. So when the match is over, then we can do the turn manager. Okay. Is there, what am I missing here? Why is this not happy? I don't need this anymore. Okay, so why are we not happy? Current? Oh, because it's game board. Game board. And then this, we don't, I mean, okay. Okay, so that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And then here, anywhere we have ability, we need to add current ability. Okay. All right, copy that. Okay, where else do we have? There's ability, there's an ability, there's an ability, there's an ability, ability, there's an ability, there's an ability. Okay, did I miss ability here somewhere? Nope, I missed game board. Okay, so this is not how we want to do this, but I'm just trying to get the logic as it exists into this before then I refine it. Okay, so we got game board here. We need game board current actor right here. So let's put that in. Okay, so that's all that. Targets. Here's targets, an array. Get all actors in range. This is currently in game board as well. How did I learn Godot? I learned Godot when I first started getting into game dev. I did a lot of mod stuff way back when. And I kept trying to get into it. I tried to get into Unreal when Unreal 4 first came out in 2016, 2014, somewhere in there. And I kept doing tutorials, just could not for the life of me figure out how to make an actual game from it. And then, some life went by, and then 2024, I started getting more into it because I was getting a little burned out at work, so I needed something to do. And I started following, trying to dive in, make my own stuff, JavaScript and all that. And I was like, oh, this is just so much work that I don't need to do, and I can just use a game engine. And I was trying to decide, do I use Unreal? Do I use Unity? Do I use Godot? And that's when the Unity runtime thing hit. So I went, well, okay, guess I'll use Godot. And Bracky had just come out with the teaser for his new tutorial for Godot. And I was like, okay, great. I'll start learning that. I did his tutorial. I thought it was great. I was like, awesome. I can do this. And I did a GD Quest 1 on Vampire Survivors. But after both of those, I kind of got to the same spot where I went, okay, cool. I've got these bits and pieces, but I still can't make a coherent game. And then I came across Michael Games and Michael's tutorials, and he explains a lot of why you do things, not just here's the code, follow it. Here we're going to make a moving platform. Here's the code you need. It's this is why we use this. We do this because then it makes the platform move. We can adjust it this way to make it move faster, move slower. He dives into the why. And when I found his channel, I was able to start, the light bulb started getting brighter and brighter, and I was able to connect all the dots and figure stuff out. But the other thing is, I've been programming since the mid to late 80s. So just learning another language, comes pretty fast and easy to me. But I think the big thing for Godot is just you got to find the right teacher that it makes sense and things click for you. Like I said, for me, it was Michael when he started explaining things in his Zelda tutorial series, the AARPG. And I was able to just go, I understand. This makes sense. So I always recommend his videos to people who aren't familiar with them yet. Okay. So let's see here. So we got all this. So this matches all of our stuff, matches our ability type. What else do we need to do here? We send it back. So this should all be the same logic that we have over in the game board right now. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something here. What am I missing? I'm missing. So we got the targeting. We can pull that all back over. So what we need to do is we need to build the exit state. Okay, so let's just do that. Let's go down here. Let's build our exit state. The exit state's should be pretty easy and pretty straightforward. Let me see here. Where's my notes on how I wanted to do this? There we go. Okay, so let's send in the state because we need to know what state we're leaving. State void. Wow, typing today is just not being awesome for me. So let's match our state. Do we do underscore? No, we just did state. Okay, and then again, we just want to look at what state are we in. State dot idle. So if we're in the idle state, nothing's going to happen there. We're in state dot move targeting. And then basically we need to disable all of our stuff. So we just say if game board dot current actor. So if it exists and it's not in the game board dot current actor dot moving. So if the game board has a current actor and the current actor is not moving, then we should be able to kick out of this. So then what we'll do is we will, let's see here, move. What do we want to do here? We want to do we want to use game board? Do we want to use, sorry, my brain today is just fried. I was hoping to get all the stuff knocked out. Here we go. So if we are exiting our move targeting and the actor's not moving, it means the targeting has been canceled. So what we need to do then is we need to call a cancel movement. So we stop drawing the line and we go back to allow us to select a different action. Okay, so what we need to do then is we're going to call gameboard.currentActor, and then we're going to call a function we haven't written yet, but we're going to call cancel movement. Should we call it cancel movement or should we call it cancel move targeting? Cancel movement targeting. Because it's not actually canceling the movement. We're just canceling clicking where we want to go. Movement, T-A-R-G-T, movement targeting. Okay. So then we will cancel that. And we're going to have a same style thing here. So let's see, state, move targeting, attack targeting. It's basically going to be just about the same exact thing. Actually, we're not going to use moving. We're going to use for actor and game board dot get tree, and then it's get nodes in group game board dot get tree dot get nodes in group, and then the group is going to be, I believe we called it just actors, right? Yes, actors. Okay. And then we're going to do, for each one of the actors in the group, we're going to do actor.targeting. Is it targeting or targeted? Targeted. Okay. Targeted dot, and then I think it's disable. What do we do? Disable target mode. There we go. Disable target mode, function call. Boom. Okay. Oh, forgot to call them. There we go. Okay, so then we just disable target mode. And then when we disable the target, we also need to disable this. So let's copy this. So we'll disable the target mode. Does that also, when we did this, Okay, that's fine there. And then we're going to say if target targeted dot, what do we do up here? Selected as target is connected. Then we want to do disconnect. So that's not. So if it is connected, we want to disconnect. So I'll disconnect our signals as well. Okay. And I think we're going to do the exact same thing for our area. No, wait, that's not area. We're doing state dot ability targeting. So it's going to be basically the same exact thing. If we do that, colon, there we go. Okay, so that should be the same thing because we're going to disable that target mode for our abilities as well. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have got okay, what else do we have? I'm going to come back, write the AoE targeted cell otherwise. I'm going to... Okay, there's one other thing I want to do. I want to do the cancel. Let's do this. This function unhandled input. Okay. And then what we want to just say, if current state, if not current ability, current state equals state.idle, then we're just going to return because there's nothing to cancel out of if we're in that state. But otherwise, if action, oops, no, not action. Is it action? No, it's event is action pressed. There it is action pressed. And we're going to use the right mouse button. Do I have right? Is it mouse button right? What is it? Mouse. What? How do we refer to it? You know what? Let's do it the easy way. Scene, project settings. We'll go into our input map. We have a middle mouse button defined. Let's add in a new action. Let's call it cancel. Add. We're going to add it in. Oops, click. Right click. There we go. Cancel. Okay. So if it's cancel. Okay. So if event action is cancel, then what we're going to do is we're going to disable our targeting mode. And then we're going to just, for right now, print targeting. Oops, put this in quotes. I can't spell today. Targeting mode canceled. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna cancel that, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our state change. What we're gonna do? It's gonna be called. What did we call it again? We called it. Oh, there it is. Transition 2. Okay. We're gonna call transition 2. And then we're going to do idle state.idle. Okay. Then did we have context? No, we can send it blank. Okay. But there's one other thing I want to do this is get viewport. And then it's, God, I use this all the time and I always forget every single time. There it is. Set input is handled. So what this will do is it'll flush the buffer and get rid of that cancel so it doesn't actually cause any other problems. Okay. So we got that. We have if this current state is idle, we just return. We don't do anything else. If event is action press cancel, say target mode is canceled. We say it's been handled, and then we transition back to our state idle. The next thing we have to do is we have to actually hook this up to make sure it works. Writing this is easy. Making it work, that's a totally different story. Okay, so let's see. Let's go into our game board. So let's save. Okay, game board. I have 20 minutes. Let's see if I can make this. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Make this work. So in our game board. So if we go into that, I'm going to probably be deleting this. So I'm just going to leave that there for right now. We have a targeting machine. So let's bring that in so we can get a reference to it. Okay, and in ready, I don't think we didn't do a ready because we don't need to. But we need to do in our character where we set up our characters. Characters, set up stack. Nope, that's tiles. Character setup. Here we go. So we add the characters here. Let's think. What do we need to do with our characters? So if we add them. Oh. An actor. Do we have an actor action complete? Do we? We don't. Okay. So let's add character dot what did I call that again? I've already forgot what I called this. Action completed. I forget what we called this. Actor action complete. COMP action complete. Okay, and then that calls with sending itself. So it's going to just send the node with it. So if we call that, let's send that to on actor action ACTION complete. Okay, and then we'll add that into a new function, right? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so then let's copy this. Let's come down here. I'm going to go through one of these days and just clean up all this fun stuff. So if we add in our action complete, let's see here. What do we want to do in this? Oh, action. Let's call it action. Yeah, action complete, not completed. So we're going to send in. It's going to take in the actual actor. That's going to be an actor, ACTOR, boom. We're not going to send anything back, so that's going to be fine. Then we're going to say if current actor equals the actor that was passed in. What did I do? Underscore actor? I think, yep. Okay, so if actor that and actor dot is in group players. Oops, PL. There we go. And we're going to do turn manager dot get action points is less than 0. Okay. Then we're going to change our targeting machine dot transition to, and then we're going to send it a, we got to call the full thing targeting machine dot state dot idle. There we go. So this will send it back to underscore actor. Get action points. Oh, we got to send in the actor. There we go. Okay. So then on the end of the turn, it will set our targeting machine back to idle state. Okay. And then what we need to do, so that will deal with our that. And then here in the update active, I believe is where we're going to need to, not update active. We need to do when we call the buttons. Buttons, button pressed. So let's say, let's do move first. So actor move. Okay. That's not actor move. Here's actor move. Here we go. So will you try to use an action point? Yeah, I don't want to do it that way. I want to change that around a little bit. So let's take this out. Actually, we can just change this. We can say turn manager get action points. Is it get action points? Points. The current actor. Okay. And then we can say if it's less than 1, and we're going to say there's not enough, we can move. Okay. And then instead of calling activate here, because we're going to call activate in the targeting, what we can do here is we can just say targeting machine dot transition trans transition to targeting machine dot state move targeting. There we go. Okay, so that will move us in the targeting system into the move targeting. Okay, and then do we need to do, I don't think we need to do anything else there. Don't need that anymore. That's gone. I think in the trying to think, do we need to do anything else? We move. We need to, when the moving is done, we have that already in there to go back. So let's see here. Do we have, first off, do we have any other red I need to worry about for right now? Right here. This, okay, we'll just turn that back on up here for right now. Okay, so we should have no more red. Nope, no more red. Okay. So let's see if our move targeting, okay, we already have a problem. Non-existent function call action complete on rogue. Rogue. We have right here, action complete. I mean, we have non-existent. Setup. Oh, misspelled action complete. That misspell character action complete. ACTIONCOMPLETE. Action complete. Okay. Game board. Let's go down here and fix our. There we go. We'll fix our spelling. There we go. Make that happy. Why is it saying that there is no action complete in Rogue? I mean, Rogue's a actor. Do we not have it in the right? I mean, the Rogue's here. It definitely has the. Oh, duh. It's a signal. Need the word connect. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. So when we go into, once this is done. Okay. So we're into the move or the idle state. So if we look at our targeting machine, we're currently in idle state. If we hit move, okay, and I misspelled visible, so that would be why that did not work. VIS. Okay. Okay. Move. Where are we here? Non-existent call. Oops. Cancel. Oh yeah, we never did that in our actor. Okay. Yeah, good point. Okay. We're gonna do that in player though, because the monster's not gonna have it. So we need to have our, what do we call that again? It was, oops, errors. There we go. Cancel movement targeting right here. Okay, so we're gonna have to put that into our player. Function. Cancel movement targeting. Void. And then basically all we're going to do is in here, we're going to go through all this, return all this. We're going to do all this. We're going to wipe all that out. Actually, you know what? We can just run deactivate. So what we'll do, actually, you know, we will do deactivate, but we also need to clean up all this. We need to act just like it's empty, or else, because if we don't do this, then we're still going to have like lines and stuff showing up. Target cell equals null. Right? What's our default target cell? Or do we not use target cell? Is that only in the target cells only being used? Target cell. Where are we calling target cell? Target? Input event. Where are we using target cell? Oh, in actor, player. Where are we using target cell? There it is, target cell. Okay, so that. Okay, so then what we can just do here, target cell equals vector. Actually, I think if we just leave that alone, we should be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. Oops, wrong button. Try that again. There we go. Okay. Okay, move. Right click, cancel. Error. Non-existent function. Get action points. Gameboard.currentActor. Get action points. I thought we had a. Oh, it's not current. Where we put the action points again? We just do action points. That's all it is. Okay. So let's go back here. Dot action points. There we go. Did we do that anywhere else by accident? Does not look it. Okay. Okay. Move. Cancel. Okay. Another error. We must have done it somewhere else, apparently. Oh, because it's not a function. It's a value. Eh. Okay. Move. Cancel. Okay. Wow. You know what?
Vibble. Vible. Did I put it anywhere else? No, did not put Vibble anywhere else. Okay. Move. Doom. Cancel. Hey, look at that. Move. Cancel. Move. Okay. And then I had to hit cancel. Okay. So we're not transitioning at the end of the move back into the idle. Okay. So let's go back. I have about 5 more minutes. Let's see here. Targeting machine. Exit say, oh, we don't have like a. So here, move targeting. When we enter the state, we say our current ability is this. We activate. And then here in our move targeting, we need to listen. We need to figure out how to, when we're done moving. So let's see here. So we can just do, let's go back to our game board. Game board. And we did actor move here. So we did this. Let's just copy this. And then we have, did we do another like on move end? No, I think that we did that in actor. On actor movement finished, we play that. Did we have it in another player? On movement finished. Here we go. We wipe out that. We deactivate them. And then we can call the game board. Do we have a reference to game board in player? I don't know if we do. We do not. So that's not going to work then. We can't just do that. But when movement is finished, okay, so let's go figure out where. Okay, so when that's done, we get back into our game board. On action, actor action complete. Okay, so this, do we connect this anywhere? I don't think we did. Action complete. Okay, right here. So action complete. Are we not emitting action complete on movement? No. Okay, so we're doing idle. We go to the player. We do this. We can do action complete that emit. And then is there any action complete actor? I think it's just self. Yeah, self. Okay, let's try that. So we move. We can cancel out of it. So that's still not working properly. If I do move again, that should. Yeah, that's not working right. Okay. Oh. Okay. So this wasn't it. Okay. Oh, it's right. Look, right here. We have deactivate, action complete, emit. So we're already doing that. Okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. So an action complete. Let's go back up here into the game board. Are we connected to this elsewhere? Control C, Control F. Action complete. Turn manager, that action completed. Here we go. Current actor. Action complete. Oh, we're using that for the monsters. Okay, so let's do, instead of using this other, let's put that in the, where was that other place we were using this? Let's see. Character action complete. Nope, not that. Turn manager action completed. Action completed. Okay, did we have a reference in here? We did not. That's totally external. Okay, so let's go back to our game board. So this is not working. This is not working the way I intended. Okay. So we need a different. So let's take that out. Okay. Turn manager, turn ending, connect, on turn ending. So let's go on turn ending. Here we go. If actor is in player, await the selected, then here we can do this. All right. We need to send in the actor. And then do we need to send anything else in? Just the actor, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's try that. So if we move. Unfortunately, I have the hard stop today. We got the targeting system in place. It's not the way I like it. It's not working properly. Yeah. Not this is not the way I wanted it to go. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Let's put this back to where it was here. Control Z. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put this back under the. Here we go. Action complete. I think I realized what I just did here. Because we're only doing it if the action point's less than 0. We should probably do this if it's greater than 0. Because if it's less than 0, then the turn's over. And we're just trying to change this on the action complete. So if I do move. Okay. Okay. So that's at least better. Yeah, we got a little recursion error, but at least now I know where the problem is. Yeah, so we're saying do player here, player here. Did I put an extra function? Okay, let's pull this out of there and only put this on here. Because if we're going to use deactivate to no, let's keep that here, but let's just take this and here where we're calling deactivate, we'll just put that in here. There we go. Let's try that. Okay, so first move, deactivate. Okay, move. There we go. Move again. Okay. So that's working with a targeting thing. We're turning off the panel. We're turning it back on. It's keeping the right state. When we do this, it's not working because we haven't hooked up the attack to the thing yet. So, because like right here, we're expected 1. We're calling it with 2 because it doesn't want this ability in here. I'm just going to pull this out right now so then we can just keep going. Yep. So now we got proper grouping. We move this guy. How far can I go? Let's move him down to here. There. Now our attacks work, but it's going to break our ability. So we still need to get points working for the targeting thing, but we'll sort that out very shortly. But okay. Again, another simple error that I could have prevented if I had just paid attention. We want action and turn, so we want more than 0 points. Okay. Does that... Okay, wait. Let's try one more thing. Just thinking now. Does that still work on the double move? Okay, it does. Okay, perfect. Well, we're not subtracting points yet. Excuse me. Game board. Action complete. Where did we do player move? Actor move. Okay. So before... Okay. Not enough AP. Move to targeting. And then when we do have enough for targeting, then we go to activate. Where is move targeting? Targeting. We call current actor activate. So if we come into player or actor, do we have an activate in here? We don't. Player activate. Okay. Set process mode to true. So when we do the start, actually when we do start move, which is under start move, here we go. Move points is empty, return. Moving equals true. Okay, and then so right here we can do action points minus equals 1. There. Okay. So now if we move, should take away an action point. We move again, that should end our turn. Yep. Okay. And make sure if I stop in the middle of the square, end turns. Yep. Go to the next person. Perfect. But this is of course broken still. But anyway, okay. So we got that. I just have to get the attack, the AoE, that stuff connected in, which I'll do next time. I think we're in a good spot. So I'm just going to save this. We're going to go back over to our timer here. We're going to hit stop. Actually, we're going to put movement implemented still needs single and AoE. Still needs combat and ability. There we go. That's what I want. Save. Stop. Okay. Let's take a look here. Let's see how bad we are. 45.5 hours. Oh, 5.5 hours behind. 5.5 hours behind. But we do have the targeting system in place. We just have to do a couple more things to tie it up, and then I think we should be good. Yeah, let's see where else. So we got that. Let's go into our Kanban. We got the double move bug that's been resolved. We added in the targeting system. That I'm just gonna put it in done. You know what? No, let's put it in progress here. It's not quite done because we still have to hook those last two things in. So I think we're there. I think we have, I'm going to guess right now we have another 4 hours in this milestone, which is going to bring us right about to hour 50. So that is, where I plan to be for the playtest. I'm hoping I can make up some time here. Oh, but yeah, interesting. But we're getting there. We're getting there close. We should be. We're probably gonna have to make some cuts to our scope to try to hit 60. So, but I think that's where we are and where we're gonna be. But thanks for joining me again. Look for me on Thursday and Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I do try to advertise this as soon as I know for a fact that I'm going to be streaming. But again, every Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. I am streaming unless otherwise announced. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get notifications when I'm going to go live. I tend to do weekend ones here and there. Same with Tuesday afternoons. But I think we're in a good spot, and I'm really hoping that we can finish the rest of this out. So with that being said, have a good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, and I'll catch you.